The bell is tolling. It's the coach, and this is the 2018 season on E!
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Returning it, John Ross. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Well, first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Dalton gives to Bernard. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep, Antonio Brown. And then he goes with a juke. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd down, it's Bell, and he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Here we go.
Dobbs. And he's got Rodgers. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's brought down. The numbers for Bell on the ground of the game last week, well into the triple digits, and they'll take that every time out.
What I loved was just how decisive he was running the football. Coaches like guys that go north and south. They don't like the east-west guys, the juking and the jiving. 1 foot in the ground and cut. And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017, and I think you can't let him run wild here.
Well, you think 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
Emerging as an anchor in the linebacking core is Carl Lawson, who went in the 4th round out of Auburn and gave them 8 sacks as a rookie. Have to say that for most people, they would call that a steal. How did he get it done, though? Speed, power, ability to see plays happen and make sure he's in the right spot.
On second down, Dobbs. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Flex round! Flex round! Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
To throw is Dobbs. Goes underneath for Bell. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Dobbs now on 2nd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Sack, baby! Sack, baby!
But enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Dobbs is throwing. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Now Dobbs. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And the Steelers on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd down and 12.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio!
From the shotgun, here's Dobbs. And Dobbs is going to be swallowed up as he'll go down. Geno Atkins in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me partner.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So,
well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
At the end of 1, 10-zip our score. We'll return to Cincinnati after this. And they've got it here with a 1st down. They'll begin here with Bernard. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second down, Dalton. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. Oh, the strength of Eifert. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there for Cincinnati. And even 40 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. He drops it off for Bernard. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Dalton. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Ryan Shazier in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. This Pittsburgh defense always keeping the offensive line on their toes, or I guess on their heels and back.
They are certainly about pressure, aren't they? At 56 sacks as a unit in 2017, which led the NFL. They certainly live up to their nickname, which is Blitzburg.
On 3rd down, Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that's off the left upright, but it caroms right in. How about that? The kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. It's a little bit of a trick shot there, but he got it to go.
Yeah, that thing was headed directly for the left upright the entire way, but fortune smiled on him there, and he's able to bank it in.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll pitch it out to Bell, and he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. A give to Bell. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Flex round!
Out of the gun, Dobbs. And that'll be incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing here, Dobbs. They find some open field here. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On play action, it's Dobbs. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Dobbs to throw. A minute 57 to go in this 1st half. And that'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. A first down throw coming for Dalton. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. First and 10 for Dalton. It's complete to Jerron Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. Now Dalton with a first and 10. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Another look for Dalton on second and 10. Underneath, this is Bernard. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. This will be Dalton again. And able to find Green. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Dalton to Green for a Cincinnati first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Dumps it off to Mixon.
Missed.
He will not go down. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That is caught at the 7-yard line.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film
down.
sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. And it'll be Dalton again. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown. Janikowski good with the extra point.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him. Dobbs looking to throw on first down. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
They get the tackle, Marcus Gilbert. Second-round pick back in 2011 out of Florida. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
Back to throw Dobbs. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Dobbs. This is Bell on the dump off. And down he'll go at the 25. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 15. Here's Dobbs to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. A very good starting field position from the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. The final act of the first half, Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front as we'll head down to Orlando. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, Antonio Brown can wreak havoc in so many ways. Here he's able to cause a PI penalty.
He runs at defensive backs with such speed and power. I think it creates panic on their end, and a lot of times they just reach out and grab him, and that's the result there, a pass interference call.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And some space here. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On first down, Downs to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. From the shotgun, here's Dobbs. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first.
Brandon, sometimes we give a lot of these running backs credit for being good receivers, and all they catch are swings and screens. Le'Veon Bell's a full member of the passing game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether he's split out of the backfield or not.
Well, no doubt he can catch it, coming off a career-high 85 receptions in 2017. So first down carry for Davis. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go. Hot white 90. Hot.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 1st and 10, Dobbs. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now Dobbs. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And now here's Ross. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The first carry for the second-year man, Joe Mixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity map to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And Eifert has it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. Now a play fake here on first down. Caught right side, Jerron Brown. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. The former Buckeye, Cameron Hayward. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And Dalton to throw. Green's got it over the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And that is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Again, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. They go play action here on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding, offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. To throw is Dobbs. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He'll get the penalty yardage back exactly, 10 yards, as they'll get it to 2nd and 10.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Dobbs now on 2nd down. And this one is incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Dobbs. Goes underneath for Bell. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What? 90. Ohio.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. The give is to Bell. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Throwing here, Dobbs. He'll buy some time right. He's going deep for Brown. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. That's complete. Bernard. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. This is Bell. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Steelers on third down. Well, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This will be 3rd and 15. Here's Dobbs to throw. And he's got Rodgers. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now they'll try the sweep with Bell. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll go again with Bell. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. Room here to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Steelers, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.